Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I mean, it's such a beautiful day and this wonderful venue. I think just really sets the stage for some great conversation about empowering ideas, guided by Mayra, our speaker. So, my name is Mayra Hernandez. I am on the board at Wine Women as the programs director. And our mission at Wine Women is to create different programs and events and speaking opportunities that highlight women and empower us in our careers here in the industry. So thank you so much for joining us. One of the other things that we do at Wine Women is we have these forums that focus on your specific career paths, such as CEOs, GMs, HR, accounting, and winemaking. So it was our winemaking forum that brought Mayra to our attention and brought us to this event today. But I actually met Mayra at our Wine Women holiday party in December, and she came up to me and she complimented my shoes. So of course I thought she was sample. I was wearing the jeans, so the red soles came her way. So impeccable taste. And so we started chatting, and I could quickly tell that she was someone who had a different mindset. You know, she would ask questions in response to what I was talking about that was a little different. I remember I said challenges, and she, opportunities? I'm like, oh, you're one of those people. And then a couple of weeks later, Julie Schreiber with the Winemaking Forum introduced us to Mayra. And then as we've gotten to know each other more while putting together this event, I can just tell that she really is a person who has a genuine interest and passion for humans, and also connecting with them and connecting them with themselves as well. So I'm really excited for what she has shared with us today. And thank you all for joining us. And Mayra Hernandez.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for carving time out of your afternoon and making the drive to this gorgeous winery. Oh my God, isn't this something? Wow. So I am so happy to be here. I was looking at the title. I was like, I should have had edited that, but I think that some people found that attractive, so I'm glad that you are both here. So today we're gonna talk about mindset, empowerment. There's gonna be some space for self-reflection, space for sharing, a little bit of memory. So I want this to be a space where everybody feels comfortable to share. I may tap you on the shoulder to help me read a slide, if that's okay, if I can get permission for that. Unless somebody didn't bring their glasses in here, right? Yeah, that's okay too. I don't want to catch anybody by surprise. So I do say I'm drinking some hot tea. So last week, I lost my voice. Like literally, I was mute for a weekend. So I'm keeping things warm with tea. So don't mind me. And so I will share about me and the agenda. Again, we'll make some workshop agreements before we dive in. Why are we here? What you will discover. I'm gonna give you some foundation to how master your mindset, empowerment signals, and my master your mindset tool. Okay, so a little bit about me, and I'm a leadership and empowerment coach. I am an ICF accredited coach, so I currently getting ready to go on a retreat to Bali. This is the second retreat that I'm leading. It's happening March 17th. I still have spots available if you're wild. Like there's 2 weeks left in this trip. I want to go. The ticket prices to Bali are so excellent because I checked, so feel free to reach out after. But my mission as a coach is to empower women to thrive. Because I truly believe that we all have innate power. And we just let guilt and shame and fear and judgment and all this crap get in the way of that. And then that, you kind of forget who you truly are, what your power is. So my passion and my mission is to help women reclaim that. A bit of my experience, facilitator, again, my second value retreat is happening soon. I'm fresh of neuroscience training, and that just opened some new things for me. And this is what today's workshop is about. That also connect deeply with setting mindsets and the foundation for the right mindset. And so also I work with clients on behavioral change, resilience, somatics, and trauma. And a little bit about what was I doing before I became a coach. So I've been a coach now for 2 years. And before that, I worked in the wine industry. I worked at Sonoma Vineyards for 8 years, 9 harvests. Because I started in 2014. Like I started at harvest. And I had an amazing team that I've worked with. I worked with a majority female. The guy that you're seeing here repeated, that was my boss. If you've heard of Nick Schroeder, he was like the dad that everybody, wished they had. And the rest of the team was female. It was power team. And it was just a really healing, transformative work experience. And I just met some ladies today that are also in a female team. So, wow. I'm so excited about that. So in the winery, I was in charge of all production from receiving the grapes at harvest up to 10,000 tons, 500,000 cases, a team of over 50 people during harvest, hiring, all the things for the team, right? So a lot of work with people, but not enough to make it, again, satisfying for me. I left that goal because I wanted more of the one-on-one work. And that just wasn't there in that environment, and that's okay. And then before Sonoma Couture, I worked at Jack Daniels. I worked in Lynchburg, Tennessee for 3.5 years. I was in charge of making the whiskey batches for bottling. And then before that, I worked as a quality supervisor. And then before that, I worked in the glass industry, which is what I call my time in hell. I worked 65 years there. Really toxic. All the things that you hear, like, this is the worst work environment anybody could work in, especially as women, as that was happening there. But I still think of that time with gratitude because of that experience and the connections that I made there. That's how I was able to find a job at Jack Daniels and then open the door to the rest of my path. So I know I said that was all my time in hell, but I do hold that in gratitude. So so that's a little bit about me. And also, I'm a mom. I have a 2.5-year-old toddler. His name is Leo. And my hubby, the AV guy, so, but don't mind me, he's like one of the girls. Okay, so let's just dive in because I want to make the most out of your time. Again, you made the time, you drove, you walked. Let's make the most of it. So I like to make it very interactive. And what I mean by that, I just invite full participation. And full participation is there may be some opportunity to share with one another or really give yourself the time to reflect as some of the questions and things come up. Also, come in with beginner's mind, right? Like a workshop is kind of like you're working, you're learning, you're kind of like, how does this fit into my life? How do I incorporate this today into my learning? So even if you might have heard about mindset, empowerment, I just, again, bring a lens of freshness today. Also, safe space is all women. Again, ignore my hubby. And even though we are recording, we are going to edit out any parts where there's any personal sharing. So please know that we're only going to edit the parts where I'm talking about materials because we want to share it with the wine women members. So that will be edited. So please feel free to feel comfortable. Let's see. Cell phones, thank you for muting your devices or do not disturb. If you want to take pictures or you use your phone to write notes, please feel free to do so. I've done that myself, so I'm kind of done it. workshop. So, but do mute your phone and avoid any distractions. And also just permission to share in full confidentiality, right? Make the most of your time today. Whatever's coming up for you. I know, like, this is a group full of really strong women, so I feel like we can give ourselves permission to share truthfully. So, and also, like, as you leave the space, you may know each other from the wine industry, or so maybe somebody shares something sensitive with you from Wine Direct or this winery. You know, we don't want to share the name, so who's sharing, but I know we're all good. We understand. Can I get a raise of hands to make sure everybody feels comfortable and in agreement with the agreement? Is there anything that we should include before we continue? Anything that I missed? No? Okay. Good. Okay, so why are we here today? We're here because one day, as I was pretty new in my coaching journey, I truly decided to believe in myself. I told myself, well, I'm not sure what my voice and my message and all the things that you're trying to figure out as an entrepreneur, or if you can relate, if you're in a role and you've only been there for a year, there's so much to figure out. But I thought, well, that's okay. But I know that I have something powerful to offer. I want to make a difference. And so I gotta let people know who I am. Like, they're not knocking on my door. Here I am sitting months have passed. I don't have a single client, so people don't know me. So I decided I'm going to believe in myself and I'm going to start reaching out. So this is a screenshot of a message that I sent. It was August of last year. I must have sent over 500 requests to connect in LinkedIn. Maybe some of you in the room have received the message, you ignored it. That's okay, no problem. You're here. But I just went on this journey. And Julie Schreiber, who is one of the chair members of Wine Women, who could not be here, unfortunately, she replied back. And so I am telling everybody, this is my message. This is in a short version, 200 or less characters, my mission. If it's aligned with you, let's connect. Well, Julie was looking at this from her own mission and purpose, which was, well, I work for Wine Women. That would be great to organize a session for them. And so here we are, 6 months later. This is the result of starting with me. I decided to believe in myself. I have something important to say. And so I want to take a moment for you to reflect. What is possible for you if you decide to believe in yourself? I'm going to give you a few seconds and just write down whatever comes up for you. And it could be your work. It could be anything else that you've been feeling a bit challenged by or hesitant. Whatever's coming up for you. Let's give this question a little space. So I was thinking about confidence, right? Because this is the confidence in your role workshop. And I was like, well, let's just start with the Merriam-Webster definition, right? That's like the first place. Let's see, what do they call confidence? Would you mind reading for me? Yeah. Give me a break. Yeah.
Confidence, noun. Synonyms of confidence. A feeling or consciousness of one's powers or of reliance on one's circumstances. Have perfect confidence in the ability to succeed. Met the risk with brash confidence. B, faith or belief that one will act in a right, proper, or effective way, have confidence in a leader. And 2, the quality or state of being, certitude. They had every confidence of success. Yeah.
And so, also take a few seconds here. How do you define confidence? What does confidence mean to you? For being confident. And again, I invite you to write down almost like, this is what my brain, what just came up. That's what I'm going to write down. You're not going to edit. You're not going to, oh, that didn't sound pretty. You're going to just write down whatever thought came up about confidence. I'm going to share my definition of confidence with everybody. For me, confidence is more rooted in a feeling. It's like that heartfelt or like visceral. Like when I mean visceral, it's somewhere in your body, right? You feel it. Like you're going to do something and you're just like, feel it in my chest, or I feel it in my heart, or in my gut, or my head feels like it's rushing. So I want to invite you to merge now whatever definition of confidence came up for you, connected with, where does confidence live when I have it? You're basically creating a new path in your brain. I would love if somebody, Emily, would you mind reading this very lengthy slide?
Why you must reshape and master your mindset. Our beliefs, along with our thoughts and words, are at the root of everything we experience in life. Words bring our thoughts and beliefs to life and help anchor them into our realities through reception. Your thoughts also trigger or inspire your emotions, which get you motivated to take action, and with that, your reality begins to shift. Jen, is it so?
Yeah, she's the author of You're a Badass. You're a badass at making money, and you're a badass, period. But I really love how her message is like, watch your words, watch your thoughts. That is the most powerful thing you can do right now and at any moment. How does it sound, by the way? Does it sound woo? Does that make sense? Okay. It sounded a little woo to me the first time I started to learn this concept. I was like, wait, what? Why? How? But again, the results are, and like to, again, bring back the example. Mayra believes in herself. Yay! I have something powerful to share. I'm going to be very careful with my thoughts and my words. Because I believe I have something to offer. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to take some actions that are positive and supportive of my belief. What's my reality? 6 months later, Mayra's leading this workshop. Yay! So, yes, master your mindset. I'm showing this again because, as I mentioned, we hold different mindsets for different situations in life. So I want you to leave today. If you forget about everything that we talked about today, remember this night. That didn't sound so good. What are the beliefs that I'm holding about that statement? What are the thoughts that go with that? Let me watch them. Let me notice. What are some of the words that go with that thought? I'm making progress on this thing that I really want. Oh, no, I'm not making progress. Well, let me go back. So go through this exercise. Beliefs, thoughts, words. Your foundation. And build it to what you want to do. Okay. I'd like Stefania, if you could please read his slide here.
More incentive to master your mindset. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy, and where you direct your energy is where you are pouring your power. So that's the mindset.
Mm-hmm. This is a neuroscientist that I follow on Instagram. You can find him. He has great information. But also when I read this, I was like, give me the science behind this, because that also sounds woo. Like, where is this? Where is the science? And so I also had to bring in science into here because this is a winemaker's forum, and there's also science when it comes to wine. So I want to give you some science to take with you. So I want you to learn about this part of your brain. It's called the reticular activating system. And you don't need to remember the name or where it's located. You just need to remember that your brain's got your back when you have intention on your attention. So the reticular activating system is located in this lower part of the brain. And it brings into consciousness what you're working towards. It's like the bouncer at the club. Right? Because you're bombarded with so much information every day. So much, I mean, it's millions. I can't remember the actual number. It's like millions of information that you come across in a day. You don't need to be bothered with all that information, right? So your brain's got your back. Your brain's like, okay, what's important to us? What am I aware and conscious that this is important to me, that aligns with my values, with my beliefs, with what we're doing? And it does it for you. It helps you line up so you become aware of the information that goes with that. It's kind of like, I don't know about you, but I'm a big fan of like numbers like 1111, angel numbers, or 117. I saw it. I'm seeing these numbers all the time. Well, guess what? That's this part of our brain that helps me bring it into awareness. So the next time that you're like, okay, I'm going to really be focused about my words, about this project. Just, again, intention. Just notice what's going to happen. Your brain is going to do the work. You just have to watch it. So, just know that your brain's got your back. I want to talk a little bit more about confidence and sometimes a disconnect that we experience. And I love that that was explored in the different perspectives, right? And there was that example. We hold different perspectives. So here's Mayra working at Jack Daniels. I was brought into Jack Daniels actually as coach because I had knowledge of glass, and Jack Daniels was transitioning from the old style round edge to the very cool feathered edge bottle. This was like the first they changed the bottle in like over 20 years or something crazy. So they were my customer when I worked at Glass Plant. And they're like, oh, come work with us. So I go work with them. I'm doing all the glass analysis. Everything's breaking on the line. It's a mess. I'm just doing my thing, right? Trying to help improve the bottle, bring the information back to the vendor. I was just enjoying and doing my job, offering advice on how to make it better, etc. Well, I didn't even notice that I was projecting so much confidence in what I was doing. I was just like, I'm just, loving what I'm doing my job. I wasn't intentionally networking or telling people about me or these things that you intentionally do. And so that came across as being highly confident in your role. Who knew? So here was a job. So I was a supervisor. This was called whiskey processing manager. And I only heard about it because all the guys, which was majority males, team, they were all talking about it and talking about who was going to get this job. Well, such and such applied, and I'm sure he's going to get it. And so I heard about it from them talking, and I was just like, okay, cool. And then here comes this gentleman, taps me in the shoulder and says, did you apply for the job? And I was like, no, I had only been a year and a half in my role. And I was just happy to be there. I mean, genuinely happy to be there. I felt valued. I felt like my contributions were appreciated. I felt seen. And so I was like, what else can I ask for? So I was just, yeah, sounds good. Great. I still didn't apply. Here comes the manager again. Taps me in the shoulder. Mayra, we're closing for the job interviews next week. I see that you haven't applied. Hold on, I don't know anything about making whiskey. Really don't know. Well, you're a chemical engineer, right? That's one of the requirements. yeah, but I just don't know how to do that. I mean, he had to talk me into it. I mean, this man took the time. He saw something in me that I still was not seeing for myself, even though I was not exuding on purpose, all this confidence in this previous role. People were picking up on it, but I wasn't. So I had a huge disconnect. And so I also invite you to reflect, like, what are the areas of your life where you are disconnected in your confidence? That's a missed opportunity. So I still thank my lucky stars, because then I thought, well, okay, I'm going to apply. And I worked on my cover letter. I prepared for this interview and I got the job. When all the guys were, yeah. So, yes. Connect the links of the different areas in your life. You're like, I feel I have high confidence about this here, but what am I missing? It all goes together. If there's an area of your life that you're excelling in, that you can do, you have that ability to do it in the rest of it. So close the gaps. So take a moment right now to reflect. What are the times when you've been most confident, most empowered? It could be a job or presentation. It could be one action that you did for your community, whatever that may be. Think about, again, the qualities. Who were you being when you were that most confident? And what were you doing? Let that be your new foundation to translate and link into the other areas of your life. And I also want to share what being the recipient of others with that increased confidence in themselves can do for you. So my entry into the wine industry, it was July of 2014. That is an actual picture of me visiting the vineyards at Sonoma. And at this point, the hiring manager had talked to the HR and Jack and my boss, and everybody else talked to everybody, right? I'm coming in to meet with the winemakers and the team. So I meet with Kara Morrison. Kara is the director of winemaking at Sonoma Vineyards. She is a very seasoned winemaker. She's been in the wine industry for 30 years. So I mostly meet this day with her. And one of my questions to her as seeing the facility was, what is harvest? Oh my gosh. If you don't work in the wine industry, that is like the single most important activity that happens in a winery. I did not know about wines. I was coming from whiskey. I was in Tennessee. I had never been to California. I was interested in this job. It looked super cool. I had never been to California. So I was curious, and this curiosity kept driving me. And so Kara is so awesome. She did freak out, and she ended up hiring me because Mick wasn't there. Mick was in France, on a business trip. So she mostly made the hiring decision there. And recently I asked her, Kara, I still can't believe that you hired when I asked you, what is harvest? I was like, what possessed you? She's like, well, I liked you. I knew we would work well. She's like, I just love your curiosity. You were honest. You didn't know what it was, but you were willing to learn. You were transparent. And so I want to teach you. I love teaching about wine. So here we are. So her confidence and empowerment opened doors for me. And so what can your confidence and your empowerment in your role and in your life can do for others? I get almost a little weepy as I think of this moment. That was huge. And so that ripple effect of increased confidence, right? You have greater trust in yourself. One of the groups said, We're risk takers. We don't let fear stop us. And then you open yourself to new possibilities, new facets of you. And then there's less stress and fear. I mean, it may be present, but you're not letting them rule you and overtake your decision process. So this is a bit of a wordy slide, and I call these my empowerment signals. This is kind of like the old Batman cartoon where the signal goes in the air and Batman sees it in the sky, right? These are these empowerment signals. So confident self-expression. It goes without saying, what's the body language that you're conveying? Meeting, somebody walks into your office. Are you sitting like this, looking away, like, oh my God, I got so much to do, and this person just walk in and eat up 10 minutes of my day, right? I mean, that says you're not welcoming. So body language, self-advocacy, balance, vulnerability. That's a bit wordy. But truly, self-advocacy is absolutely what you need. And many of us, it seems like it's easier to do that when we have a team. We're asking for them. But when it comes to our needs, that probably gets harder to do, right? But that's equally important. Balance vulnerability is just, knowing that line of this is what's real for me and honest and true versus sharing too much, right? Because you don't want to open the whole world. Confidence, self-expression, networking, internal, external. Do you know how much networking I did while I worked in the wine industry? I'm gonna retire from this job. I don't need to network. Like, why do I want to do that? Like, ugh. That was a terrible mindset that I was holding, right? And that was holding me back. I think I might go like, the opportunities that you have to connect with more people. And you don't do it with the interest of, this is gonna get me to this. No, but you can also meet some really cool people along the way. Values, mission, and purpose of communication. Okay. I want you to leave today, and again, your RAS is going to look for this next time you have a conversation with anybody. You're going to be listening for, are they sharing their values or mission or purpose? What leaders are communicating in this way? So when I started this session, I said to everybody, my mission as a coach is to help when you thrive. I like to do that, support you through my coaching, through retreats, or through workshops, right? I didn't share my values or my purpose, but I started that. So, values, respect, honesty, compassion, gratitude. My purpose is ultimately to bring greater healing and self-compassion to it. But anytime I come in contact with a leader, organization that leads with their mission, it stopped me in my tracks. And so you're gonna leave today and you're gonna be like, I heard it. So how can you incorporate that into your networking? Internal or external? Internal within the current company you're in, external as you reach out to others to collaborate or work. And this could be a whole different workshop. I know it's not easy to get to that sometimes. So just the concept alone to having that awareness, just start there. Feedback. Many of us say, oh yeah, I people know that I like to receive feedback. And then you encounter a situation you're so uncomfortable to give feedback to. Don't do that. Okay? Because the empowerment signal that you're like, I'm constantly working on myself. I really want to learn. How can I do it better? Right? Again, the body language piece. Emily might come over and say, hey, that workshop was really boring. And I'll be like, oh, like I'm afraid like anybody else is going to come say something to me. That shows that I don't want to hear it. Right? Like, so manage again your body language and manage also your reaction to how you receive feedback. Yeah, sometimes you may hear something that you may not like and that might be untrue, but there's always a 1% of truth, even in the things that we don't want to hear. So demonstrate that you are living that. I love the accountability partnerships. And I had some, while I was at Sonoma Trader. If we had to do a presentation or anything else, I would always ask a trusted friend, can you let me know at the end of the meeting how did I do while I asked for this or what I spoke in public or, okay, yeah, I got your back, I'll let you know. Great. Does anybody here have accountability buddies? No? Wow, awesome. You're going to lead with some today. Yeah. And emotional management, right, as women. That's a biggie. I worked with a leader in the wine industry that she didn't understand why people didn't like coming to tell her her information that were kind of going around her. And she ended up making her office the most welcoming space it could be once she received the feedback and recognized what she was doing. And it was just little things, right? Like you come into my office and I'm giving you my full attention. Or not. Am I so busy? Oh my God, I'm so stressed out. Right. There's also some scientific information that says that it's 80% nonverbal cues. Like how you transmit your information. 80%. That's so high. So again, body language. Be aware of your body language, your facial expressions. Many of us, myself previously, I always said, I do not have a poker face. Like if I was mad, I was walking mad down the cellar, so people know and make stories about it. And then they didn't want to come talk to me. They were talking to others. So, body language. And stress management, right? When we're overloaded, when we feel unsupported, that all kind of, the cup gets overflown. And so they kind of all go together. I feel alone in my role. I support. I am doing it all. Well, that's stress. And where are your networks? I know this is a lot of information, by the way. Any questions or anything in particular that you would like to look at? No? Good? Okay. By the way, I'm going to share some slides with you, like post-presentation. This is one of them, and then the following one. Or I can share the whole presentation if you all want. Happy to. Okay, this is my Master Your Mindset Toolkit. I did not create these tools. These are just a collection of tools that I've come across to help me, again, with the mindset keys, with becoming aware of your thoughts, all of it. So there's a little bit from each category. So repetitive negative thoughts. And that to me feels like you have a one of those old records that kind of stick and you have to kind of push the needle to let the song fully play out. That's rumination. It's like cows too, right? Cows ruminate. We're not cows, so if you're finding yourself having some repetitive negative thoughts that they don't seem to go away, you can Google this technique. It's called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's just the senses. Go to your senses. Okay, I'm in a meeting and I can't stop thinking about okay, let me go look for 5 things in the room. Okay, I see the lights. I see the cool instruments on the backboard. I see the red thing. I see the lady in front. Let's see. Okay, what are 4 things that I can touch? You can do it in your seat as you're having a meeting, a conversation, or something else. 3 things. What are 3 things that I can smell? Yeah. Like, call them out, notice them. What are 2 things that I can hear? And what is 1 thing I can taste? So it's the senses, but naming them out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What does that do for you? It disrupts the repetition that the brain is cut in, that loop, and it brings you back to the present. It's also a great tool for anxiety. So I went through a period of my life where I was experiencing panic attacks. It was rooted in trauma, a traumatic situation, post-birth. And so I was finding myself in this, and that works as wonders. So brings you to the present. That's what it does. Because when you're ruminating, you're either in the future or in the past. So come to the present. The negative mindset. Oh, I cannot sell anything to save my life. Ugh. Replace it. What is the aspiration that you have? And repeat it. Right? Again, you're telling your brain that you're creating this new path. I can sell effortlessly. I know I have something to offer, and I can sell it effortlessly. Or whatever it is that you want to tell to yourself. Replace that thought that is not serving you, especially at critical moment. Guilt and shame. Okay. That's a little harder sometimes. I should have done this. Should. That's shame all over it. Okay? So if you hear the shoulds, give yourself a heavy dose of self-compassion. Right? We are so hard on ourselves. We would never talk to ourselves like we talk to our best friends sometimes. So I love a guided meditation by Clara Brock. She is a meditator and an expert in the field. And her RAIN meditation is recognize, allow, investigate, nurture. It's a 10-minute. It's great if you're up at night, you can't sleep. Has put me to sleep many times. But also has helped me take a moment of some passion. So highly recommend it. Again, I'm going to share these links with all of you. Post workshop. And analysis paralysis. That one is when you are overloaded with information. Action. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? And then you end up doing nothing, right? Yeah. So what's happening there? Your prefrontal cortex in your brain is saturated. Needs a break. Give it a break. And so if you're finding again the key is I feel paralyzed, I can't make a decision. Take a break. Shift what you're doing. I'm gonna go for a walk, I'm gonna take a nap, I'm gonna sleep on it. Your brain just needs a little bit of time to reset. So you can get your creative juices flowing back in. Any questions? Oh, yeah. All right. Okay, we're making it to the end of our workshop. So what are some takeaways? What are some key nuggets that you got from being here for an hour and a half with all the ladies that are here as well? Hope that good sharing, reflection. And what is a committed action that you're taking? So you put the time, you sat here, you reflected. What's an action that you're going to take home? And I'll give you a few seconds to think about your action. And also with that action, you're going to choose a partner. So I don't know if you remember your group. Don't choose from your group. Choose from a different group. Why is that funny?
We have a big wine director here.
Yeah, and I'm sure you all were in the same group, huh? No, there's some really cool women in here. So take that opportunity to intentionally, like on this other side of the room or any other body. Please exchange information. You're my accountability buddy. I want you to check in on me in a week. Let me see. Maureen. You're gonna tell Deanna. This is something that I realized today that is holding me back. And I want to work on it or take a step, meaningful step. I want you to check on me in a week to see if
I did have me in a weakness.
Okay, I will do that. Yeah. So it could be your neighbor. I just used it too as examples. Or you can choose from your completely different groups. But this is what you're doing. One committed action. It could be about your confidence, about your mindset, whatever this information that you received today, translate it into for you. And I know there was a lot of great networking earlier, but take a moment to meet 5 more ladies, 10 more ladies before you head out today. And if you don't have the time today because, you have a schedule, go on LinkedIn, follow up, request to connect. Hey, I met you at that networking event. We didn't really have time to connect. Let's catch up later. Or within your organization. What a nice opportunity is that so many times we miss a chance to meet others in other departments, leaders. How do you let others learn about you if you are not, introducing yourself, making the time for that? You can go a next step. If you find somebody that you're so inspired by, can you mention me in this? I'm working on this. I really admire you, Deanna. And you're super confident. I will see you in meetings. Can I work with some things with you? How did that feel to hear that?
Great.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
We want to help. We want to make a difference. So that's an extra step if you want to take it. Okay, so we're at the end. My secret to share is this is my very first workshop. I'm going to share a feedback form. Please be fully honest. I want to continue learning and working on my craft, so this is what's going to feed that. But I thank you. It was a big day for me. So. And I kicked And so I am especially moved and grateful to Wine Women because they gave me the opportunity to do this for the first time ever. And how huge, that's what they do. They champion the advancement of women's careers in the wine industry. And beyond, because this group not only welcomes women only in the wine industry, it's beyond. So I am so grateful. And specifically, Moray, it's been a pleasure working with you, connecting with you. Ashley couldn't be here. And Julie, this is happening because Julie opened the door. She was leading with her mission for her organization. So. And I left cards on your chairs. If you feel like you need support along your journey, please feel free to reach out. I'd love to work with you. If you feel called to go to Bali in 2 weeks, please reach out. But really, my wish for you is that you leave today with the information that you listen to, and that you take that meaningful step towards that wall, towards that hard thing that you have not been able to work through. And you work on that mindset. You work on those beliefs. You work on those thoughts. You work on those words. Because you're powerful. And the world needs to see it. The world is missing out, but you hold me back. So, thank you.